Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite Ravens YouTube channel and podcast. Talking Ravens all day, every day, from your host, Justin P., and one of my co hosts, Miss Shannon Finch. This is episode 92 for the YouTube channel. And for the audio version, it's season 2, episode 2. We're on season 2 now for the audio version. So, y'all make sure y'all check that out. All the links are right there in the description. And also underneath that are me, Dave's, and Shannon's social media platforms we can follow us at. And also, what to say, like and subscribe. Trying to get the subscribers up. So show love to the trade team. Uh, Miss Shannon got some great topics for us today. So, without further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and let her get started.
All right, Justin. So give me your good, bad, and ugly for week 10.
Oh man, this is kind of interesting. Good. Let's see. Justin Metabike, he played well, and Zay Flowers, and I'll go with Roquan Smith. He had a pretty good game. Bad, gotta go with Lamar. Although statistically his numbers wasn't bad, but that first interception was like I don't know what the hell he was doing. For those who don't say I get on Lamar, I'm doing it now. So you know, what else? Let's see. A couple arm tackles on defense. I didn't like that. So that and then Todd Monken because situational play calling was horrible. And for the ugly, the second interception that led to 6 points. The defense just played terribly in the second half. They played horrible. Like you can't let Deshaun score on 16 unanswered. So that's the good, bad, and ugly for me.
Okay. So for my good, I have the first half. I feel like first half, particularly the first quarter, we played very well. Like it looked like it could have been a blowout if we would have kept going at that pace that we did in the first quarter. Second quarter, it kind of got iffy, but overall, it was a good first half. Keaton Mitchell continues to show why he made this team. Like I said, we've been talking about him since the preseason. It's just been good to see him get out there, and every time he touches the ball, something special happens. So it's like we can see why he made the team. And Odell scored again. With Odell being on the field, being able to get more chemistry with Lamar, things like that can get better. But it's good to see that, he scored again because that keeps the energy up on the team and with the offense as well. For the bad, I had play calling on both sides. I'm not sure why we didn't decide to run the ball more, especially when we had a lead, and particularly why we didn't use Keaton Mitchell. Like why he didn't get more touches in the second half. That was just crazy to me. Like ride the hot hand is simple. It's not that hard. Defensively, I feel like we didn't get enough pressure. We blitzed early on, and it worked for us early on in the first quarter. But it seemed like as the time went on, like we stopped and Deshaun got more comfortable. I heard that he had went like 14 for 14 in the second half, and we can't have that. Like we can't have any quarterback being that comfortable just to do whatever they want. And it just seemed like Deshaun was able to do whatever he wanted in the second half. As far as the ugly, I would say turnovers as well. That was just bad. I mean, we've been fumbling, we've been turning the ball over. We got to get that together. Injuries. We left that game with Ronnie Stanley going out, Marlon Humphrey again going out. Like guys that we expect to be around. We lost them in that game, so that's a blow on a short week. And it's just been like that's been our story this whole season. So I don't get too down about the injuries now, but it's still ugly because it keeps happening to us. And we got manhandled on both fronts. I mean, um, defensively, I just feel like we got bullied on both sides of the ball. I feel like they just did whatever they wanted to us, and we weren't up to the challenge. when you got guys, blocking you and then standing over you, like, yeah, they letting you know like we here. And I just feel like we never responded to that on either side of the intensity that Cleveland was bringing. Um, and to allow 178 rushing yards, that's just sick. Like it was just too much. Like it's something that we haven't been used to seeing, but it was just a hard watch to see them get pushed around like that. So that's my good, bad, and ugly.
Okay, here's our next topic.
So this one should be good. We're gonna go to the position grades. We'll start with the coaches. What do you give the coaches staff?
As a whole, a C plus. That's it. And be short and sweet with a C plus.
Okay. I gave him a C minus. I feel like I said just a few minutes ago, in the first half, particularly the first quarter, we played pretty well. We came back after halftime, scored, went up 24-9. I was like, okay, this can be a game. And then we got outscored like 24-7. Like I said before, why didn't we run the ball more to milk the clock? Especially when we had went up like 31-17 in the fourth quarter. It just seems like they weren't. I don't know what the thought process was in that moment, and I don't know if we're even going to hear from the coordinators on a short week, but I would like to hear Monken explain what that was about. And the time of possession was just mind blowing to me. Like even at the game, I kept looking like, what? When it was showing the difference of the time possession, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, why aren't we running the ball? One thing the Baltimore Ravens have been known to do and always been able to do is run the ball, and we weren't able to really do that on Sunday. So the minus to me comes from just not being consistent, not having the correct players out there, not calling the correct plays. That starts with the coaches and with Harbaugh. As you're watching a game, do you not see what we see? Why aren't you asking Monken, hey, what's going on? You know what I mean? So for all of that, they all get a C minus from me. And what do you give Lamar? What do you give the quarterback?
C plus. Um, like I said, he had some good stuff going, but the two turnovers, which one wasn't his fault, one was. But then at times you got to get rid of the ball. At times you got it's yourself as a quarterback. If you see the run game is working, you supposed to go to Todd Monken like, man, hey, can we put the ball in Keaton Mitchell's hand more? Hey, can we go to Andrews more? Because I think that should have been a game. Andrews and Keaton Mitchell should have had the show on offense.
Hmm.
Yes, Odell got that one little touchdown. Okay, what they fucking do? But I gotta give him a C plus.
Okay. So I'm giving him a C minus. I felt like Lamar played okay, and okay is just average. What brings me down to the minus is just the two interceptions. I understand that one was deflected, so you can say it's not his fault. But to me, interceptions and fumbles are all the same when the other team gets the ball. You're lessening our chances of scoring when you do things like that. And he may have had three if one didn't get called back for a penalty. So that just would have been real nasty if it would have been that. Um, and for me, it's just a matter of when you're in the red zone, you have to be smart with the ball. When you turn the ball over in the red zone and end zone, you are taking away 3 points, 6 points. Like we're not getting a chance to put any points on the board. So just for that, I mean, like I said, he was okay. It wasn't a game where I was like, oh, Lamar's the reason why we lost. But the turnovers definitely made me think C minus.
That's fair. That's
Okay,
fair.
and what do you give the offensive line?
Oh Lord, I give them a C as well. Because even with the positive plays we had, a lot of that stuff was on people making stuff like the runs that Keaton Mitchell had. He just made everybody miss, and the
Hmm.
runs that Gus had, he just fell forward. Like they were like Miles Garrett and Sedalia Smith just took turns whipping Ronnie Stanley and Patrick McCurry ass. Like they weren't getting beat with like speed rushes. They were getting picked up, tossed to the ground, and bull rushed every play. Like they wasn't nothing. That's the worst thing
Hmm.
you can do to offensive linemen as a defense line. And somebody beat that's one thing our old line coach will tell you that if he beat you with a speed rush, okay, so be it. He faster than you. But when he physically tests your strength man on man and just run you to the ground like you ain't nothing, that's this. You gotta have that's all heart and man. Like, come on now.
Hmm.
Stanley, you 300
Hmm.
pounds. McCarr, you 305. You can't let guys that's 260 and 70 pounds, who y'all got 40 pounds over, just straight manhandle y'all to the ground. That was embarrassing. So I
Hmm.
gotta get him a C.
I gave him a C as well. I agreed him slightly on a curve just because of the injuries. I don't really have too much to say. Like everything you just said is exactly what applies to them. I felt like they got beat bad on both sides of the ball up front. So that was just a bad day up front. What do you give the running backs?
They probably only gonna get the best grade, B plus. Because like I said, they were hitting the holes. They was making stuff going. It just was lack of opportunity. Gus had how many times ago? Yeah, Gus had a touchdown. So yeah, and Keaton had a touchdown. So they accounted for majority of the points outside of the Odell touchdown and Kyle Hamilton pick six. So I give them a B plus.
So I gave them a C plus. And a C plus was because they scored two touchdowns. But if you take away Lamar's rushing yards, they Mitchell, Gus, and Hill rushed for about combined 65 yards. Now, part of that is going to be on coaching, and we can get into that, in another topic. But it could have been a little bit more, but they did enough. Like when they touched the ball, they did enough. Keaton Mitchell was averaging like 11 yards per carry. I just feel like he should have touched the ball more, and it could have been a different game as far as the run game. But I don't think it was a bad game. I actually was going back and forth between a B minus, or a C plus, and I just went with C plus. But the running backs didn't have a horrible day. I still put a lot of that on coaching.
Agreed.
And what do you give the wide receivers and tight ends?
I give them a B because Zay Flowers made a lot of plays. Man, he did. He made a lot. And Andrews made two big plays. Odell scored. Like I said, they might not have had like nobody, the one guy with like 9 or 8 catches. We're not gonna really see that with us unless it's Andrews having a game like that. So, but overall, they all chipped in. Even Bateman made a couple catches. So I get him a B.
So I'm giving them a C plus. And a plus is for Odell scoring again, and Zay Flowers having his best game in like 3 weeks. We have been talking about, him kind of being strapped up and not really doing too much in the past couple of games, but he came back this week with like over 70 something yards. I feel like we can do a better job utilizing our tight ends. I would like to see Mark Andrews more of a focus. I would even like to see Likely out there more. I would even like to see Likely and Andrews out there together more. I think it's more that we can do offensively, and we haven't even touched the surface. But I just don't feel like it was anything earth shattering from the group as a whole. So that's why I give them a C plus.
That's fair.
Okay, now let's move over to the defensive side. This was a rough day for the defense. What do you give the defensive line?
I give them a B because they did get a couple sacks. Yeah, the rushing yards they got rushed on, but they did get pressure. They just didn't bring them down all the time, which sucked. But yeah, they did get about 3, 4 sacks though, so I give them a B off that alone.
I'm giving them a D. Like I said earlier, I mean they got manhandled. It was something like I had never seen all this year.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
maybe the
true.
Steelers game, but it wasn't anything that I was impressed by. But I'm not going to go too hard on them because it's not the norm. It just wasn't a good day for them in the office on Sunday. Okay, and what grade do you
Okay,
give the
that's a.
linebackers?
I give them a B. They were coming up making tackles. It's hard to do a whole lot when they get into the second level, but they were making tackles and stuff like that. Queen was coming up making tackles, so was Roquan. So I give him a B.
I gave them a C for pretty much what you just said. I feel like, I mean, they had like 30, they had like 30 tackles combined, which means that guys were getting to their level when they had to tackle and they were doing it. It was some missed tackles. I feel like the middle of the field was just wide open. And that's a whole nother conversation as well. But they really worked yesterday. They had to earn their check, and I feel like the middle line, the linebackers and the middle linebackers had a lot of work to do. And on the outside, I feel like they had some sacks, but it wasn't enough. Like you just said, we got some pressure, but Deshaun was just too comfortable. You don't go 14 for 14 in half of a game because somebody was getting pressure on you. Whatever pressure they was bringing, it wasn't enough. So for that reason, I'll give him a C.
It's a fair. It's a fair grade. I'm just being a
And
little
what grade?
generous. That's all.
And what grade do you give the DBs?
I give them a B. Like I said, they did pick off Deshaun. Couple little plays they gave up, but no, nothing big. Amari Cooper didn't have 200 yards receiving, so I give them a B. Oh, it's C plus B, put it like that.
And I gave him a C minus. And the minus is because we gave up over 200 passing yards in a game, and one wide receiver damn near had 100 yards itself. It was giving up a lot of big plays. I didn't like that. It wasn't a whole lot of tackling. It seemed like, we're going to get into that later, where you think somebody could have made some tackles, they weren't. But Kyle Hamilton, he had a great day. He had a great play early on. And that almost, I mean, that changed the game early. I wish we could have got a little bit more of that later in the game. That could have been difference maker for us. But I'll give them a C minus. They've had better days, but again, I'm not going to go too hard on the defense because we haven't seen this from them all season. Like they've been the best part of this team all year, so they get a little break.
Okay. So next topic.
All right. So the next topic that we have: do you think the Ravens needed this wake up call?
Yes, yes, because it was just people would just I get people get excited when we get on one street, but people were really like going, going above and beyond. They was like, "Oh, this defense is as good as the 2000 Ravens defense." Hold on, chill out, relax. Uh, we going to ride this all the way to the Super Bowl. I know you heard some silly stuff too, and I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You get it as a fan. We all want that, but we live in a real world. You gotta take your time. It's like you know, people was ready to put us in the Super Bowl like as of before yesterday. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely needed it because the defense, like you said, yeah, you gave them credit, you gave them some slack, whatever. But they have definitely been playing great. But yesterday losses, I gotta give them 90% of it because you up 2 touchdowns, you gotta get a stop. Feel me? You have to get a stop. It's easy to get stops and get turnovers when you're up 20 and 30 points when you know what a team going to
Mm-hmm.
do. But when a
Mm-hmm.
team got you on the heels, you don't know if they're going to run or pass. And you got to
Mm-hmm.
get a stop. It's a whole different ball game. So, like I said, and I think they will be successful in these situations more than not, but not yesterday. They failed completely. Deshaun kept getting first down. It was like I was talking to one of the contractors in my building earlier. It was a second and 20. I was remember that play. Uh, we let them get 17 yards to Kamari Cooper and they made a second and two. That was big right there
Mm-hmm.
because we could have stopped them and got the ball back and ran the clock out. So
Yeah.
they definitely, like I said, if you want to be labeled number one defense, you have to find a way to get off the field. Yes, the offense probably could have gained a couple more first downs, yada yada, whatever. But they still had 30 points on the board. That's more than enough points to win. It's one thing if the score was 13-13, then I could give you a pass. But they put up enough points for you to secure the win. And they didn't come through. Like I said, maybe they was reading their press clippings too much, or Deshaun just say, you know what, the hell with it, I'm going to go win the game. But they let us down, man. You don't let a team score 16 on the answer, man.
And you just said something I was going to say in response to what you said. But I mean, as much as we can want the defense to get off the field, the offense got to do better as a
Yeah,
second
yeah,
drive
cause
as well. Because you good defense going to get tired of
yeah, I've
going
heard it
down
all day long.
the way they've been running the way they was running the ball on Sunday. What defense wouldn't have been tired if they keep going out there getting battered like that? So it's hand in hand for me with the defense and the offense. Um, but for me, I agree with you. They definitely needed that wake up call. I too feel like they may have been believing the news clippings a little bit too much. Every other week has been a different conversation surrounding the Ravens, whether we're the best team in the league, whether Lamar's MVP, no, best defense in the league. Like everything is, it's been some negative that's upset fans, but it's also been a lot of positive as well. And that can sometimes get the best of you in certain situations. And I don't want to take anything away from Cleveland because, in my opinion, they played their butts off. You know, they weren't laying down like some teams lay down, and the Ravens just wasn't ready for what they were bringing. So I don't even want to make it seem like the Browns didn't play great because they did. Hats off to them. But as far as we're concerned, um, I feel like it was too much talk about how good the Ravens are because of who we beat, and talking about like the NFC records and what our record is against the NFC teams. And to me, you got to win your division first, and to be able to win your division, you got to win division games. You have to then win your conference before you can even see an NFC team. So all of that, what the record is against the NFC team, I don't really care about that. I think we need to get back to the mentality of one game at a time. And don't let people just push you over. Like I just feel like it was so they were just bullying us yesterday. Like I heard somebody say it on the radio earlier, the bully got bullied. That's exactly what it looked like yesterday, and there was nothing that we could do about it on either side of the ball, and that was unfortunate. But they definitely needed that wake up call.
All right. Here's the next topic right here.
All right. So why do you think the offense isn't consistent?
All right, so this is my thing. What do you mean far as consistent? Like points per game, execution. That's what I wanted to ask for before I answered this. That way I could answer this
Well,
in a correct way. Because consistency, they've scored 30 plus points in 4 straight games. That's why I'm saying what type what aspect do you feel like they gotta be consistent in?
through 10 weeks, do you feel like every week this offense has played well? Even the wins, do you feel like
No,
every week this offense played
at,
well? So that's what I mean by
no,
consistency. Like
no.
when you look at
No.
this offense, why do you think we don't have consistency with the offense? Like, and that can be for whatever reason. You can think it's the players, the coaches, whatever you think it is. Because my response, I have a lot of different reasons why I feel like it's not consistent. But to answer your question, I mean, like I said, you look over this whole season. Every time we talk after games, we're saying something different. We've had a handful of games where we was like, that was a great game by the offense. It hasn't been every game
Hmm.
this season, so that's what I mean by consistency.
Well, all right. Let's say this. It's self-inflicted stuff. It's definitely some situational play calling. Like Keaton Mitchell don't should not only have the ball 2 times, and both times he got it, it was a big play. Uh, Not getting certain guy like I said, getting Andrews involved. Like we cannot keep forgetting about him just because we went and got all his receivers.
Hmm.
I was telling the guy a contract of the day. Like you can give Patrick Mahomes, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. You know he gonna throw the ball too when things get crunchy. He gonna go to Travis Kelsey,
Yeah.
and he do it religiously with no apologies. Travis Kelsey get 12 targets, nobody bats an eye. Why we don't do the same thing with Mark Andrews? Like why we give him just a couple catches here and there? I think we need to throw it to him until they completely take him away. Then that opens up stuff for Odell and Zay and all that. But go to
Hmm.
89. Go to 89 as much as possible. He needs 8 to 10 targets a game. Like
Hmm.
it's like I said, your Chiefs do it. Nobody bats an eye. They praise him for it. So we should be able to do that same thing. We got our tight ends. We got a top 3 tight end, maybe top 2, because some people like Andrews better than George Kittle now. So
Hmm.
why can't we? Let's get him those same targets that Travis Kelsey get. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
then like I said, then we go hit the other guys. But it's mainly like it's definitely some execution because we were shooting ourselves in the foot with the turnovers and stuff like that. But it's also situational play calling too. Like once Todd Monken gets his head wrapped around, so I'm like, all right, Keaton Mitchell needs to go ahead and touch the ball. This is his game. This is a game for Gus.
Hmm.
So this is a Justice Hill game. Or this is a game where, say, Flowers is Bateman to kill it, or versus a game that Odell and Aguilar or Andrews got the high hand. He got to ride his high
Hmm.
hand in the run game and in the pass game, and that'll definitely help out the the inconsistencies, meaning like in the second half of the game, like even the blowout games we had, the second half
Hmm.
we didn't score that many points. We just ran it up
Hmm.
a lot in the first half, whereas though we
Hmm.
were able to hold on. But yeah, so it's like I said, it's execution and misuse of personnel and situational play calling. To answer your question.
See, you answered that perfect. But I was going to say the same thing. You said everything I was going to say that I have in my notes. First, offensive play calling. I think it starts there. I also feel like we're not utilizing the players in the right situation. Same thing you just said. We just finished week 10, and this offense still doesn't have an identity. That's concerning to me. We expected the offense to take some time to gel, but I didn't expect it to be like this. Like every other week, one week we're high, like, ooh, this offense can be great. And then the next week we're looking like, what the hell is going on? I feel like they want to
Mm-hmm.
prove that Lamar can be a pocket passer, and this is no shade to him, but I feel like that plays into the hand of the opponent. His pocket presence isn't always there. It's not consistent at the moment. He's holding the ball too long. He's making bad decisions. He's taking sacks. And sometimes when he does throw, it's a bad throw, and it turns into a turnover. So then that's killing us. We're not even going to talk about the fumbles because we know where we stand with that. And yesterday we were like 2 for 8 on third downs. To me, that's unacceptable. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. Lamar is considered to be a top 5 quarterback, right? I think if he's not in your top 5, he's probably right after the top 5. So it's okay to expect certain things from a quarterback of his caliber. Going 2 for 8 on third down is unacceptable. Then that goes back to play calling. If you call plays that will create more manageable first and second down, so then when you get to third down, it's something that you can really reach. It might not even need to get to a third down if you can, you run better plays, but before that point. Um, when you have a running back that's averaging 11 yards per carry, you have to utilize that. Like I don't know, like my whole section, I don't know how they were talking where you were sitting. Everybody kept wondering the same thing. Why is Keaton Mitchell not getting the ball? And that's one thing about being in the stadium. Like being at
No, that was
home, you
just
might
that was just that was not to cut you off, coach. Everybody in
uh
this club level was saying the same thing too. So that
I
was
was
the
trying to
question
figure
of the
out
day.
what was going on. And like when you watch at home, sometimes you might get up, you might hear something like, oh, so and so's questionable, things like that. I was wondering, like, did he get hurt and I missed it? Like I didn't understand why he wasn't touching the ball in the second half of the game. It was just crazy to me. And I think do a better job executing. And that goes across the board. I mean, you talked about how Stanley and them got pushed around. That's unacceptable. You're not going to win every matchup. You're not going to win every battle. But you a man like here, man. You can't do that. Like you can't do that. And that's something that you can't put on coaches because Harbaugh and Monken can't make him go out there and have heart like you just said, right? That got to be in you to not get pushed around like that. And that go, like I said, that's across the board because I've seen them all getting run over, and it was quite embarrassing. But I just feel like I've been saying this like every other week. It seems like I feel like we just get too cute, and sometimes it's okay to be ugly. We don't have to keep passing the ball. Like I said, Lamar can pass the ball. I don't know who needs to hear that to understand that. We don't need to play every game trying to prove that Lamar can be this pocket passer. Don't try to outsmart yourself. Do what makes sense. If it makes sense to run the ball, run the ball. You get a lead, run the ball. Like I was trying to figure out, I'm like, it's so much time still left in this game. Like, why is it still so much? It was so much time still left in the game because you weren't doing anything to milk the clock. You get a lead and you act like you didn't have a lead. At that point, our defense should have been feasting, especially when we went up 31-17 in the fourth quarter. It was crazy. But offensively, I feel like I said it's not like it's over, like they can't be better, but it's a lot of reasons why they haven't been consistent, in my opinion.
Lenny said they scored 24 points against the best defense in the league. Yeah, somebody else brought that up to me. In 2 games, they scored 52 points versus the Browns defense. So that's a fair point.
And it's nothing
It's
wrong with
just
that.
like I said.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with the thing about it's always going to come down to making key plays and key parts of the game. Like every game that we watched
right.
yesterday, damn near every game came down to a game winning field goal. Somebody, some quarterback, somebody had to make the play. I just would have loved for it to have been our quarterback. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been great if our offense could have been on the side of the winning side, in a game like that. Yeah, they put up 24 points. That's good. But what happened when it was time to close it out? We couldn't.
Yeah, and that's like I said. Yes, you can say that. Yes, that's fair. But like I said again, if you want to be the best defense in the league in football, you have to find a way to do it. It's been plenty of times our defense is like into the key to leap said it the other day. Like when
Hmm.
Peyton Manning had his neck surgery, he couldn't throw the ball
Hmm.
past 20 yards. You know how many times they was tied and still got stops to win the game? Like I said, you can't just get stops and turnovers when you're up 25 and 30 points. That's anybody can do that. The
Yeah,
Carolina Panthers
but the but
defense probably will
the
play like
but
that
the
too if they got a 30 point.
But the difference is
Go ahead.
that hasn't been a norm for our defense though. So we can rag on them if you want to rag on them for how they played on Sunday. That's fine. But you tell me how many
I
times in
got
10 weeks,
to.
how many?
I got to.
But you tell me in 10 weeks that we've been talking about this team. How many times have we had to talk negatively about the defense? We've talked about the offense not being
Not
able to
much.
score in
Not
the second.
much. Not much.
We've
Not
talked
much.
about the offense. We've talked about the offense
Yeah.
not being able to score in second half of games. We've talked about the offense fumbling the ball and turning the ball over in bad moments of the game. I'm just saying we've all watched
Absolutely.
enough football. You know the great quarterbacks, they will go toe to toe with whoever's on the other side of the field. Like Deshaun Watson was going crazy on our defense, right? And we couldn't do nothing against their defense. So we can give the Cleveland Browns the props and say, well, that was a great defense that we did XYZ against. The Ravens have a great defense too, right? And any defense, I don't care who you are. And that's granted. Peyton Manning couldn't pass, so it was times that defense had to go out there and win games for them. We saw that plenty of times in Baltimore. That's not nothing new to us, but you still need to
Right.
be able to be able to make plays on both sides of the ball when it's time. One of the best playoff games that we probably seen recently was when it was the Bills against the Chiefs that year. Peyton Man, I mean um Mahomes and Josh Allen, they was going back and forth. That was a game where it was like whoever got the ball last. And like I said yesterday, we saw a lot of that with those game winning situations, kicking field goals to end a game. You see what Kyler Murray did? I'm just saying you can't put it all on the defense because we always say that everybody get
Let me
paid.
tell you why I can't. Let me tell you why. Because we had a 2 touchdown lead. Now, if it was a shootout like you just said, I'm agreeing 100% with you. Our offense got it. We had a 2 touchdown lead. That's why it's like
Right. So then so what
it's a
happens? So what
different.
happens when your offense can't stay on the field though?
So your offense
To
got to score
me, to
60
me,
points for
no,
your
no, no.
defense to be able to stop
I'm not
somebody.
saying that. I'm
No,
talking
I'm
about
not saying you're. I'm
sustained
not saying you're
drive.
saying. I'm speaking. I'm
I'm
speaking.
saying
And
I'm saying stay on the field. Help your defense out. Because if we could say they was on the field too long, why wouldn't the offense know that? Just like you said, why wouldn't Lamar go to Monken and say we need to be running the ball? Like we need to run with Mitchell. Like they could talk about everything else. I just feel like we could talk. It's everybody. It's I didn't look at that game and say, oh my God, the defense failed us. I didn't.
listen,
I didn't. They didn't have a
listen.
great game
And I
at
know.
all. They didn't.
Listen, Shed, I know why everybody don't want to give them the brunt of this because they've been playing great, and I get it, and now and this will kind of dim their light. It was one bad performance not going to dim their light at all,
Oh
but
no, it
it's
doesn't damn
kind
near
of
like
hard to
I'm saying
strictly
hold
like
everybody accountable.
I can't.
I'm just
No,
saying
the
hold
offense had
everybody
a fair
accountable. That's all I'm
share.
saying.
No, trust me. They had like the Pittsburgh and Colts game, they was squarely on the offense. I've said that, no doubt about it. They were squarely on the offense. You only put up 10 and 19 points. Yes. So if I
That's on
gotta
the
do that to
scoring.
them, I gotta do that to the.
We could have kicked the field goal. Like it's other things you can do if you can't get a touchdown. We couldn't even
No,
get a
I'm
field goal
just
range.
and that's why I put both those losses on the offense with no doubt about it because like the defense did everything it could. But in this particular situation, the offense did enough. Yeah, it might not have been enough in probably the fourth quarter, but if you get
Enough
24
late.
points with
That's
31
what I'm
around,
saying. Like, but that's my point though. As a team, you
I
gotta
did.
know if
They
you see your
gotta eat.
defense, if you see your defense is not able to stop the other side, right? Your offense got to come out there and say we got to score a point. That should be the mentality. You talk about
That's
Ronnie
true.
Stanley needing to have heart. You want Ronnie Stanley to have heart. The whole goddamn offense should have heart. Everybody is
That's true.
like Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson went out there and took that damn game and left the game in a welcome boot.
He
I'm just
did.
saying, like, I'm just saying,
He.
it's like
But again, we were
we need
up
to expect
31.
more from this offense. We need to expect more from the offense. Is all I'm saying.
That's true, but at the in the once again, I'm gonna say this again. Everything you're saying is very valid and fair. But at the grand scheme of things, even Boss Scott said this morning, we were up 31-17. You
Mm-hmm.
gotta close the door on it. Tired or not, you gotta close the door. You gotta close the door. Like I said, if it
Mm-hmm.
was one thing, we both slugging it out and we didn't convert and then we put them back on the field. That's the difference. We were up by 2 scores. So if you got a 2 touchdown lead, you got a top 5 defense, they have to close it out. Like I said, I get it. It's like the way how they've been playing. We don't want to, throw that, but this falls strictly on their shoulders this week. I'm sorry. The offense definitely get they play the hand in it. But if you up 2 touchdowns, you got to close the door. You have to. You have to get them off the field. Like it's 2nd and 20, and we let Amari Cooper get a 17-yard pass. That's not on the offense. We gotta uh
Mm-hmm.
uh uh we got to do that. We got to cover. They got to cover David and Joku. They got to stop Jerome Ford from busting it. And then Deshaun Watson slipping out of sacks, gaining a 20-yard run. That's not on Lamar. They're not on the field. So it's like
Yeah,
the
but what then
defense
what but
got
then
to
what happened
rise
when they
up.
got on the field?
And Miles Garrett and Zadarius Smith took over the game. Like they ain't much to that. They took over. They took over. That's how that second interception happened because Pat McCarry got walked back into the ball came out and Gregory Newsom just was at right place, right time, ran it back. But yeah, but for me, definitely it got this falls on Mike McDonald more than anybody. Todd Monken, well, I give him probably like 15%, the other 85% on Mike McDonald. All right, what's your other
Mm.
topic right here? I love these conversations. Hold on, damn.
Oh, yeah, me
Did I
too.
go too far now? I go too far. Hold on. Shit. All right, here we go. Marcus Williams, go ahead.
All right. So do you think that Marcus Williams should have been eased back into the game plan?
His shit ain't fucking played. Like just to be completely honest, we all know why he suited up and played. Because had he
Hmm.
went and got surgery, his ass, and he still may be gone. This don't stay the Ravens for saying, you know what, Gino had. If Gino, because I believe Gino's gonna get more picks. Gino finished the year with 11 picks. Why are we paying him 15 million a year? Yeah, he was solid when he was healthy, but when he was healthy, now you're getting banged up every year. Now we can play him
Hmm.
cheaper. They say hey, we
Hmm.
can move you and and get some draft capital because y'all think we trying to get as many picks and get and free up as much cap as possible. So and Marcus know that he's seen Earl Thomas and Deshaun Elliott, get dismissed from this team. Eric Weddle,
Hmm.
so he like shit. That ain't gonna happen to me. So I'm gonna get out here even if it's one arm, but he hurting the team. Cause now you can't come
Hmm.
up and tackle like you want because you worrying about your pet. Now you can't break on the ball. So he should ain't play. He should have went and just had surgery, bro, and just came back next year. Because now you're hurting the team. Now you being selfish because you scared Gino won't take your job.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. He definitely should have been eased back in. I mean, I don't know what they saw in practice. I do feel like it was like you, like he probably
He
looked at
should,
what was going
Shan.
on.
He shouldn't even be. He shouldn't be playing. He should have had the surgery. I'm sorry, because a safety with a safety can't use his arm. Like what good are you? That's
It's
like a
not no help.
quarterback out
Yeah.
there with try and play quarterback with two bad shoulders. It's like ain't no point.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I
And
agree.
had
I
the
mean, they should have
surgery,
just
come back
they.
fully.
I don't know who. I guess yeah, like he. I guess it's his decision whether he wanted to get surgery, and getting surgery probably would have ended his season. But for me, I'm just like, it was no point of putting him in there. The guys have been playing well. We talked about the bright spot of our team this whole time. The secondary has been at the top of the list damn near every week. It's not to say we don't need him, but did we need him on Sunday? No. And when you looked at the game, he was out there. He was hurting us. You know what I mean? Like he couldn't do what we need him to do. So I just feel like the man has been injured twice already this season. Let's not force it. You know what I mean? Like it's okay to be on a snap count,
Mm,
put him in here there if you have to, but he didn't do anything to help us yesterday at all.
I don't know. A couple people agreeing with me, a couple people agreeing with you. So I like that. It's
Yeah.
like it's mutual love. I like to see that. Yeah, he said we need to hold opposing offenses and quarterbacks down. Though I agree with Justin, we should have never had trouble holding the Browns' offense down from scoring. We have Burrow next. Defense has to hold it down. Overall, they have. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here and try to, like I just told Shannon, and she understand my sentiment.
Hmm.
Uh, no, overall they have been dominant, but in that particular situation, they didn't ride. They didn't play like the best defensive football. They didn't.
Mm-mm.
And like I said, various
And that's why
reasons
they had.
that y'all named.
That's why I gave him low grades. Like that's
What?
why the grades weren't that high for me because I'm
Yeah.
like it wasn't their best day.
Yeah, and right, and like I said, they're still a phenomenal unit, but that particular day, that particular situation and game, it just like I said, we unraveled. And this person said, they said they agree with you. He said I agree with Shannon. He left a ton of points on the board. Bateman running open, as they cannot be stopped over the middle of the field. Keaton dropped the pass. Yeah, true. That is very true. All
Hmm.
right, who else? I'm with you on the Marcus Williams thing, but the coaches should have stopped that again. McDonald let it go. Okay, I'm gonna read one more before we get to the next topic. Uh, then he said the Browns defense shut our run game down. The Ravens defense got bullied. Yes, indeed.
They did. They did.
Yeah. Our defense
And
didn't
almost,
lose because of Watson. We lost because we couldn't stop their second string running back. That is complete. That's true in a sense. But go ahead, Shannon. I'm just going through the comments.
no, I was just saying that's true. That's true.
A loss happens to the best teams, of course, but the defense cannot give the Browns that many points. Very true. Very true. All right. We were supposed to close the game out running the ball. That's true too, Lenny.
And
He
that's what I
said
thought we were going to
hardball.
do.
That he
When we
said
went up
hardball.
31
That's why.
17. When we went up 31-17, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, we about to just run the clock out. And I was like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Well, I think that's the last topic, but I must look at some of these
No, that
comments
is.
before we wrap it up.
That was the last
All
topic.
right, so I can just go through the comments now. Brandon Stevens need to start looking for the ball. Give me your thoughts on that, Sean.
I agree. I mean, Brandon Stevens has played pretty well this season. But yeah, I mean, you should. I don't really have too, like I said, I'm not being too hard on the defense because it hasn't been a lot this season that we had a game like that. But yeah, you can start looking for the ball more.
Yeah, it's the offense made mistakes or turnovers. It's not on Lamar. Coaches should have downshifted to the run game into the second half. Yeah, but he definitely
Hmm.
can't throw that first interception. He got to either overthrow that or just throw it out of bounds. Don't throw an interception. Then the block
And that's
field
why I
goal
said,
too that
yeah,
hurt us too. That left points of the field. That
yeah.
was crazy.
And that's why when I talked about the offense, I started with saying it starts with the coaches and play calling. Like it's definitely not on them off and stuff like that when they're not utilizing guys right.
Yeah. The defense got tired because they gave up a 17-yard play after the offense scored at the halftime and gave them a 24-9 lead. The game was lost by the defense. I completely agree. Completely agree. So, offense is consistently in offense is consistent in scoring points. They're inconsistent by not running the ball in the fourth quarter. I mean, that's a fair statement.
Yeah.
He said you right about Andrews. Talking about me, I'm guessing. Yeah, because you can't just phase out Mark Andrews because you went and got a couple new receivers. Like I said, you can get Patrick Mahomes basically an all Madden team at wide receiver. I guarantee you, I will bet both my hands and fingers if the game on the line, he going to 87.
Hmm.
He had
And we
Tyreek
said that.
Hill,
We said
the
that.
cheetah, on his team and still went to Kelsey and money time.
And we've said that
Like, you
before
know what
about
I'm saying?
getting
So it's
Mark
like,
Andrews involved. So yeah, we've been saying
uh,
that.
it, it, it yeah, and he been like I said, and he was. I know he was frustrated during the camp and all that. That's he human. Everything not gonna be sunshine and roses. He human, and he has a
Yeah.
right to be. But so far he's dealing with it now in the season more professionally. Like he's not
Yeah.
going out making crazy tweets and not like that. When probably any other person would. Like I said,
Hmm.
we need to get him at least 8 to 10 targets. Make teams double and triple him. Now that opens up anything else for everybody else. But
Yeah.
the passing game need to continue to go through him. Man. Seriously,
I
because like I
agree.
said, the Chiefs are going to go through 87, and they don't care who. The whole world know the ball going to Kelsey. You know, and Mahomes still getting it to him. So we need to do the same thing. Go to them tight ends a little bit more. Then that's going to open up stuff for the guys on the outside. And like you said, run the football more efficiently. Because,
Hmm.
especially when you got to lead, run the football and kill the clock. And then all Lamar runs, in my opinion, should be like scramble runs. Design
Hmm.
runs should be definitely limited because
I
we
agree.
don't, like I said, we don't need him to get.
I agree.
We'll read a couple more, then we'll be out. I see Keaton Mitchell like Jameer Gibbs in Detroit. It's time to unleash. I can see that comparison. They're same
Hmm.
similar style, but they said we had some drops too. Not a whole
Hmm.
lot like we
It was
had against
some.
Pittsburgh, but yeah, but not a whole lot. The offensive line was getting dominated yesterday. Where Miles Garrett was out
Hmm.
there. Looking like he was great. Get his gold jacket today.
That's why I said both sides got
Yeah,
bullied.
yeah. Pat McCarr was getting his ass whooped like bad, bad. Like this Darius Smith was just hip tossing them all. It was crazy. He said, "Do you honestly believe that that Purdy is that good of a quarterback, or do you think we should worry about Burrow? Purdy is in a good system with a good offensive coordinator. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Definitely Joe Burrow because that's who's on the schedule next. Definitely got to worry about Joe Shiesty because, like I said, they can get hot at any given time. They coming off a loss as well, so yeah, we
Mhm.
definitely got to worry about them. All right, Justin Tucker had a bad game. I'm gonna read this last one right here, and then we'll wrap it up. With you on Marcus Williams thing, but the coaches should have stopped it. That's true. All right, everyone. Thank y'all for tuning in. Shannon, what day work for you to do the preview show? I'm gonna let you decide what that works for you.
I'll have to let you know. I told you I had an appointment to get. I don't know which day I'm getting my hair done yet, so I'll have to let you know once I find out.
Yeah, yeah. So be prepared for either Tuesday, Wednesday for a preview show. Dave
Mhm.
may or may not join us depending on his work schedule, but just a short week, so things gotta get pushed back. That's why I'll be
Mhm.
recording today. Next week it'll be regular. It'll be regular scheduled program. So thank y'all for understanding.
Oh shoot!
Saying
Next week.
anything you want to
When
say
is
before we get out of here?
Thanksgiving? When is Thanksgiving? Is
Oh yeah,
Thanksgiving
nah.
next week?
Thanksgiving. Yeah, next week we'll probably do the same thing. Probably do like Tuesday and probably Monday. Probably do like Monday and Wednesday, something like that. We'll probably do the same thing, push it up. So next week we'll probably push the show up a day or two early. And yeah, big
Mhm.
guys, you can join one day. All you gotta do is just send me Dave or Shannon a message on Twitter, Facebook, any of the platforms you see in the description. Hit us up right there. We'll get you on. That's no problem at all. We always like having company on. But go ahead,
Mhm.
Shannon. Go ahead. Anything you want to say before we wrap it up?
Yes. I just want to say that I don't think the sky's fallen for the Ravens. We're 7-3. We're still winning our division. Everything that we want to do is still right in front of us. Starting with the game on Thursday night against the Bengals. We just turn the page. 24-hour rule. Let's go.
I'm gonna echo the same thing, man. You gotta put it behind us. It's in the rearview mirror now. We got a pissed off Bengals coming in here, so we can't keep sitting here crying about the Browns loss. Like I said, like me and Shannon both said several times, we weren't, in our opinions, we weren't going to win out like we did in 2019. It just wasn't going to happen. Whether we lost yesterday or lost 2-3 weeks from now, it was going to happen. So it is what it is. Let's roll. Let's just get this dub on Thursday where we can get back in the we're still in the driver's seat, but get a little bit more rum because Pittsburgh won
Hmm.
Sunday. So they're by
Hmm.
by them having a bye week, we got to have games. So we definitely gotta get that separation from them. All right, everyone.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we'll either do tomorrow, Wednesday. We'll let y'all know. So y'all, you know what to do. Y'all know to like and subscribe. For those who couldn't watch live, check us out on the audio platforms. Y'all know what I'm about to say. Make sure y'all trade. Y'all know what that means. Talk Ravens all day, every day. From your host, Justin P, and my MVP co-host, Miss Shannon Finch. Love y'all guys. We'll see y'all either Tuesday or Wednesday. Just stay tuned.
Good night. Bye, Justin.
Bye, Shannon.